Have you ever dreamed of being your own boss? Waking up whenever you want, choosing your projects, and working from your favorite cafe? Or maybe your cozy home office? That's the picture many people imagine when they think about being self-employed. It sounds perfect, doesn't it? Freedom, flexibility, no one to tell you what to do. And yes, these things can be real, but as with most things in life, there's another side too, one that people don't always see. In today's episode, we're going to talk about what it's really like to be self-employed, the beautiful parts, the challenging parts, and what this lifestyle actually feels like once you're living it. And by the end of this episode, you might see self-employment in a way you never imagined. Hey there, welcome back to English Ear Training Podcast. I'm Eva, and in today's episode, we'll explore what it really feels like to be your own boss, the highs, the lows, and the lessons hidden in between. So sit back, relax, and let's start from the beginning. When I think about self-employment, the first word that comes to mind is freedom. You can decide when to start your day, how long to work, and where to work from. You can design your own schedule and build a life that fits you. Maybe you work best late at night. Maybe you love working in a cafe, surrounded by soft music and the smell of coffee. You're the one who decides. This kind of freedom is powerful. You don't need to ask for permission to take a day off. You don't need to report to a boss. You don't even need to follow office rules. But of course, that also means something else. You have to create your own structure. You have to motivate yourself, plan your days, and make sure things actually get done. There's no manager checking in, no deadlines given to you. You're the one assigning tasks to yourself. And by the way, when we use the verb assign, it means to officially give someone a task or responsibility. For example, my boss assigned me a new project. That means my boss gave me that work to do. But when you're self-employed, there's no one to assign tasks for you. You're the boss and the employee at the same time. Now, let's talk about one of the most beautiful parts of being self-employed. When you work for yourself, you get to make your own choices. You can build something that truly represents who you are. You can create projects that you believe in. Many people find this deeply fulfilling. For example, a graphic designer might finally get to design projects they love, not just what a client wants. A writer can choose to write about topics they care about. A teacher, like many English tutors online, can teach in their own style, not follow a school's method. That creative freedom can be so motivating. It can make your work feel personal and meaningful. But here's the other side. Sometimes creativity also brings pressure. You might spend hours trying to make something perfect because you care so much about it. And when something doesn't go as planned, when a client cancels or when you lose motivation, it can feel very personal, almost like failure. That's something many self-employed people struggle with, the emotional ups and downs. Another important aspect is income. Let's be honest, Money is a big part of this lifestyle. When you're self-employed, your income isn't always stable. Some months you earn a lot. Other months, not so much. You might get a few great clients one month and then the next things slow down. That's one of the biggest differences from a traditional job where you receive a fixed salary every month. But there's also a potential advantage here. If you grow your business, if you find more clients or increase your rates, your income can rise far beyond what a regular job would pay. There's no limit. It depends on your effort, your skills, and sometimes your luck. So the challenge is learning to manage uncertainty, to save money during good times, and stay calm during slower ones. Now, one of the hardest lessons I learned about self-employment is the feeling of responsibility. When you're your own boss, everything depends on you. You handle the work, the clients, the marketing, the schedule, everything. If you don't work, you don't earn. If you make a mistake, you're the one who has to fix it. The word responsibility means being in charge of something, being the person who must make sure things are done. It can feel empowering, but also heavy. Some days you feel proud and strong, thinking, I built this myself. Other days you feel tired and overwhelmed, thinking, why does everything depend on me? That emotional roller coaster is real, and if you're not careful, it can lead to burnout, that deep exhaustion that comes from working too much for too long. But let's not forget the positive side again. Self-employment can teach you so much about yourself. You learn time management, you learn discipline, you learn how to solve problems, communicate with people, and adapt to new situations. And these skills don't just help your career, they help your personal growth too. Many self-employed people say that even though it's hard, they wouldn't trade it for anything, because it makes them feel alive, capable, and free. Still, there's something else people don't talk about enough: loneliness. When you work alone most of the time, you might miss the casual conversations you'd have with coworkers. You might miss sharing lunch breaks, jokes, or even complaining together about a busy day. That's why many freelancers, people who are self-employed, try to connect with others online or in co-working spaces. It's not just about work, it's about feeling part of a community. The word freelancer originally came from the idea of a freelance, a person who offers their services freely, not as part of one army or company. Today, it simply means someone who works for themselves, often taking different projects for different clients. So if you ever become self-employed, remember this: you can be independent, but you don't have to be isolated. And let's talk about one last thing: motivation. When you have a boss, deadlines, and coworkers, there's a kind of structure that keeps you going. But when you're self-employed, motivation comes from inside you. Some days that's easy. You wake up inspired, excited, and ready to create. Other days it's much harder. You feel lazy, distracted, or unsure. That's when self-discipline becomes so important. The word discipline means the ability to control your actions and focus on what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. And this is where many people either succeed or fail as self-employed individuals. If you can build small daily habits, like planning your day, setting clear goals, and taking breaks, you can stay consistent even when motivation disappears. So in the end, being self-employed is a mix of freedom and responsibility, a mix of creativity and uncertainty, and a mix of excitement and challenge. It's not better or worse than a traditional job, it's just different. Some people love the structure and safety of a company. Others love the independence and flexibility of working for themselves. The important thing is to understand what kind of life fits your personality best. Do you need stability or do you crave freedom? Do you prefer a team, or do you like working alone? There's no right or wrong answer, but if you ever decide to walk the self-employed path, remember this: it's not just about business or money. It's about learning who you are when no one is watching. It's about finding your rhythm, your courage, and your balance. And that's something worth experiencing, even if it's just once in your life. All right, why don't we stop there for today? Hopefully this episode was interesting for you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of English Ear Training Podcast. If you enjoyed this topic and want to continue improving your English naturally, make sure to check out my other episodes. They'll help you build your vocabulary, sharpen your listening skills, and boost your confidence, all in a fun, real, and practical way. Remember, learning English isn't just about words or grammar. It's about exploring new ideas, understanding real stories, and feeling the language come alive. So keep listening, keep practicing, and stay curious. I'll see you in the next episode.